Is this a rallying cry? Is this sort of in any way a negative impact? I mean, what does this do to morale when he's bigging up competitors, saying that there's an opportunity in AI? Is he meant to be sort of helping with morale or detracting from it?
So this is really interesting, and it shocked a lot of investors because remember in 2020, Jack Ma largely stepped away from public eye when he criticized Chinese regulators. So many articles were like, where is Jack Ma? And today he makes a comment. And there are three things to look at this, I think. First is the fact that he commented, because to your point, I think it was meant to encourage troops, but then we have analysts saying that it perhaps may have done the opposite and deflated them, because why are you commenting? And the second is where, and he did it in a forum. And the message is also interesting because he praised PDD, his rival, which has grown to be a formidable competitor in recent years, and he said Alibaba needs to course correct. So that's second. And
right.
The third is the timing, because this comes shortly after PDD again reported blockbuster results. So I am not sure if it actually motivated folks, but it's really interesting, the fact that he commented, I would think.
It is a surprise in and of itself that somebody who hasn't been operationally involved since 2020 comments at all and then calls out one of the biggest rivals saying the following about Pinduoduo. But here's the story as I see it. Bring up the chart and show the performance on the ADRs at least of Pinduoduo, the owner of Temu, versus Alibaba. And the chart speaks for itself, right, Henry? Just explain to the audience, Henry, the battleground between Alibaba and Temu, owned by Pinduoduo on the e-commerce side.
Yeah, definitely. Just as Isabelle said, this comment comes from a very interesting point of time. On one hand, you have the incumbent Alibaba, which is struggling to gain ground in domestic market. It has its strategy changed. It recently canceled a plan to spin off and list its cloud unit. But at the same time, it's going through management reshuffle as well. At the other side, you have the challenger Temu and its owner Pinduoduo. So at the domestic market, Pinduoduo is gaining share rapidly, aggressively by cost cutting and price cutting as well. And at the overseas playground, Pinduoduo is winning share by its Temu super app, and it's planning to roll out another ads during the Super Bowl mid-time show as well. So which shows that Pinduoduo is really gaining ground in the US market, in UK and other side of the market as well. So you see that from the two spectrum, you see on one hand, Alibaba is waning, but on the other hand, Pinduoduo, the PDD, is definitely gaining ground rapidly.
Henry, I like that you dig into the restructuring and the on-again, off-again sort of versions of it. Bloomberg Intelligence put out a piece saying actually this call out by Jack Ma seems to reaffirm that indeed the restructuring is still going to be upon us. What does it end up looking like, Henry?
So remember, Jack Ma ceded his control as CEO of Alibaba in 2014, and he barely entered the public appearance in the last 2 years due to the tech crackdown. And now he's re-entering the public sphere. He's now commenting in the company's internal messaging board. There's lots of analysis about this, and mostly it's about, it has been some time in this company's history that this company is run by some companies, some executives that doesn't have a close link with Jack Ma himself. But now Jack Ma re-entering this public sphere might mean that Jack Ma might have more control of the company's strategy, more company's management as well. This is something that we will wait and see.
There was a time where Alibaba was going to be China's trillion-dollar market cap company. It was going to be China's, equivalent of the Silicon Valley darlings, Apple, etc. And a lot has happened this year. There has been leadership shuffles, Isabelle. I think it's worth reminding everyone who actually runs Alibaba as it stands.
Exactly right. It's been a tough year for Alibaba, or a tough few years, because Alibaba's market cap is now around 190 billion, and PDD has leapfrogged, and it's now around 170 billion. So that's not really a far cry anymore. And of course, we still have Tencent leading. But the point is, Alibaba was growing at a fast pace, and now it's slowed. And I think, I don't want to put words into Jack Ma's mouth, of course, but it definitely shows that he's kind of really concerned about the direction of where Alibaba is going, because it's one thing to slow, but another thing for all your rivals to surpass you. So I think that's really key right now. And Ma even this month hit the brakes on his plan to reduce his stake on Alibaba because the stock price was not at a level that he's happy with. For now, Alibaba is just a fraction of what it was in 2020 and is trading at the lowest level this year, Ed.